From the indigenous peoples thriving for thousands of years to the arrival of European settlers, the story of the United States begins long before 1776. Native American civilizations, from the complex societies of the mound builders in the Mississippi Valley to the powerful Iroquois Confederacy in the Northeast, shaped the land with distinct cultures, governance systems, and spiritual beliefs. In 1492, Christopher Columbus set sail under the Spanish flag, sparking an era of European exploration and colonization. The arrival of European settlers, explorers like Hernán Cortés and Ponce de León, marked the beginning of dramatic changes for the indigenous peoples. Spain, France, and England all vied for control of the Americas. By 1620, English pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock, seeking religious freedom, and established one of the first successful English colonies in North America. Over the next century, the 13 English colonies emerged, each with its unique economy, social structure, and governance. The northern colonies thrived on trade and industry, while the southern colonies relied heavily on agriculture and enslaved labor. However, the shared experience of British rule, heavy taxation, and limited representation in the British Parliament united these colonies in their growing dissatisfaction with the Crown. By the mid-1700s, tensions between the colonies and Britain boiled over, culminating in the Revolutionary War. In 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed by the Continental Congress, marking the birth of a new nation. However, it wasn't until 1783, with the signing of the Treaty of Paris, that the United States secured its independence from Britain. This victory laid the foundation for the drafting of the U.S. Constitution in 1787, which established a federal government based on democratic principles, checks and balances, and a Bill of Rights to protect individual liberties. The 19th century saw the rapid expansion of the United States, driven by the belief in manifest destiny, the idea that the nation was destined to stretch from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Key events like the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, which doubled the size of the country, and the California Gold Rush of 1848 spurred westward migration. However, this expansion came at great cost to Native American communities, whose lands were taken, and whose populations were decimated by forced relocation, like the Trail of Tears, and violent conflicts. By 1861, the country was deeply divided over the issues of slavery and states' rights. The southern states, where slavery was integral to the economy, seceded from the Union, leading to the Civil War. This brutal conflict lasted 4 years and remains the deadliest war in American history. In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared enslaved people in Confederate states to be free. The war ended in 1865, but the wounds of division remained. The Reconstruction era that followed sought to rebuild the South and integrate formerly enslaved people into American society, but it was met with resistance and the rise of segregationist policies. The 20th century brought tremendous change. Industrialization transformed the U.S. into an economic powerhouse, attracting waves of immigrants and leading to the growth of cities. The Great Depression of the 1930s, however, brought widespread poverty and unemployment. Under Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal, the government took an active role in rebuilding the economy, reshaping the relationship between the government and the people. World War I and World War II solidified the U.S. as a global leader. After helping the Allies win World War II, the U.S. entered the Cold War, a prolonged ideological and political struggle with the Soviet Union. Domestically, the 1960s civil rights movement, led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr., fought to dismantle racial segregation and ensure equal rights for African Americans. As we entered the 21st century, the U.S. faced new challenges. The attacks on September 11, 2001, reshaped foreign policy and led to long military engagements in the Middle East. At the same time, the digital revolution transformed the economy, communication, and daily life, pushing the U.S. into a new era of innovation and global influence. This whirlwind tour of U.S. history shows how a diverse and ever-evolving nation has been shaped by its triumphs, challenges, and the resilience of its people.